Adult Solutions. Add-on desires.
Hi, welcome to Adult Solutions. I am Venkat Reddy, Social Faculty. In the last two chapters, we have studied about in detail of the earth, and these are the cold currents and warm currents that we have on the surface of the earth. Now this is equator, right? This is equator. You know that all the water that are there within these limits are having more temperatures. So now this is north equatorial current, which is a hot or warm current. These are the warm currents. Now entire this area is also having the similar kind of temperatures, so it is a warm current. Now water that is flowing from Antarctic region, certainly it will be a cold current. All the lines that are in red color are called warm current. All the lines that are in blue color are cold currents. Now let us take some examples. North equatorial current is a hot current. South equatorial current is a hot current. South Atlantic current, this is Benguela current. Benguela is a cold current, cold ocean current. Now at the same time opposite, this is moving from equator towards Antarctic, this is called Brazil current. Brazil is a hot current, Benguela is a cold current. Both of them are in South Atlantic Ocean only. Now these two are two different currents, one is a warm current and the other is cold current. Brazil is a warm current because it is flowing from the equator towards the Antarctic, and Benguela current is flowing from Antarctic to equator. That is the reason why Benguela is a cold current and Brazil is a warm current. And then Agulhas current. Where is this Agulhas current coming from? Java Island in the equatorial region to, it is flowing towards the Antarctic, which will be flowing in between Madagascar and South of Africa. So certainly this is flowing from the equatorial region towards the where? Antarctic. Certainly it will be having more temperature than the other relevant areas. Now this will be a warm current. Now I was just discussing about meeting of warm currents and cold currents that will be giving rise to good breeding zones for the fish and also good fish catch, that is this area. Norwegian current is flowing from the north equatorial region towards the UK, and Atlantic or Canary currents are flowing from the UK towards the equatorial region. This mixing of warm current here in this region is giving two advantages. One is because this region is when it is in winter months, in the month of maybe December, it will be frozen because this is somewhere around 60° north latitude and it will be frozen in general. But it is not happening like that because this north equatorial current is taking a turn towards the north direction from the Gulf Stream and then meeting this UK region in the name of Norwegian current. Now because of this hot water mixing with this cold water, what will happen? This zone will be having little more temperature, and that is the region where you will be ice free, or seas will be, or the ports will be free from the ice, so it will be allowing free movement of the ship. Otherwise you need to have, or you need to maintain the icebreaker to maintain the transport system from the ports. This is one advantage. Natural icebreaker. The Norwegian current is natural icebreaker. And the other advantage, this hot water mixing with the cold water is giving rise to better fish and also breeding grounds of the fish. Because of that reason only, this zone is too potential for the fishing. And here also Alaska, North Pacific is a hot current, and Alaska or California current is a cold current. California is here in this area, that is a desert, and water from this are coming towards California. So California current is a cold current and North Pacific current is a hot current. This zone is also a very good fish catch. In this way, these are the different ocean currents. Because of this, water is flowing from one region to another region that are having its own advantages and disadvantages. And the advantages are, here Norwegian current is breaking the ice and acting as the natural icebreaker to maintain the ice free ports here, and also is creating good potential for the fishing zones. Now, what are the agents that will be affecting the ocean currents? As we just studied how and or what will be affecting the ocean temperatures, the same way ocean currents will also get affected because of different elements. Now, first thing is centrifugal force. What is centrifugal force, my dear? Centripetal and centrifugal force. Anything that is going away from the center is called centrifugal. Anything going away from the center is called centrifugal. Anything that is coming towards the center is called centripetal force. Anything that is going away from the center is called centrifugal. Anything that is coming towards the center is called centripetal force. Now this earth is making two movements. One is rotation and the other is revolution. When earth is revolving around the sun, centrifugal force is less at the polar area and more at the center, because it will be having more impact over in this region. And these centrifugal forces will cause a movement of this water around this area more, and it will be pushing towards the polar areas. The centrifugal force will affect movement of the water from the equatorial region to polar region. And effect of winds. We have just discussed that planetary winds. You know that different people like Vasco da Gama, Columbus, all these people took their ship and started going to different places in the ocean. And suddenly they find it difficult to travel in the ocean, because these winds, some winds are helping them, some winds are hurting them. Some are helping and some are hurting. How is it happening? If the winds are going parallel to your direction, in the same direction, then what will it be happening? It will add energy to you and it will be a smooth sailing. If it is the same opposite, then what will happen? You need more energy to sail the same boat if the winds are opposite. Now, these planetary winds are always maintaining the same direction. Because of this, they took help of these winds, trade winds. These are called trade winds. This is Arctic Circle. Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. In this way, it will be maintaining general movement of wind. Because of this, one is centrifugal force will push water from the equatorial regions to away from the equators, and these trade winds will be pushing the water from other regions to equator or maybe towards the Arctic or Antarctic Circle, right? These winds will be having they will not be having capacity to entirely push all this water, but which will add if there is already some movement of water. To this movement it will be adding the speed, and if there is no movement also, it will be minute changes will definitely cause because of these trade winds or maybe planetary winds. Now the precipitation. In this equatorial region, precipitation is more because it rains every day at 4 p.m. In the equatorial region, it rains every day at 4 p.m. And in tropics also, it will be receiving good amount of rains. If you have more amount of, if you are adding more amount of water in this region, what will happen? It will definitely increase the volume of water here. If there is more volume of water, definitely what will happen? It will push away from this area. We have just seen north equatorial current and south equatorial current are moving from this area, Africa to either America or maybe the Brazil current. Is it or not? When these movements, and Agulhas current is here in this between Africa and Madagascar, and these Norwegian current are moving away from the equator. When something is moving away from the equator, the same thing must be replaced with other things. That is the reason why we have cold currents also, right, in replacing these water that are moving away from the equator. Now apart from these things, solar energy, if it get more heated up, then what will happen? Volume of water will be increasing and then again pushing away from those areas. And salinity, if there is more salinity, density is more. If density is more, then what will happen? It will again move from that area to less dense saline areas. And density difference, melting of ice. If ice get melted, what will happen? This happens generally in the polar regions. If ice get melted, more water will be added. If more water will be added, then volume will be more. Then it will be moving away from that zone to meet the less voluminous waters. Then oceans as the resource. This is the best topic that we learned today. As we have discussed, on the coastal regions of the world, 35% of the population lives. That means out of the 7 billion population, almost 3.5 billion population is living, almost 2.5 billion population is living on the coastal regions. What are the coastal regions? Like Chennai, Vizag, Mumbai, Calcutta, etc. and New York, California. These are the coastal, Sydney, coastal areas. Along these coastal, see, just within few seconds we could name too many number of cities that are coastal in regions. Now these coastal areas are magnanimous cities where population is too huge. Why do you think so? Coastal areas are highly populated or hugely populated? Because of many advantages that this having. One is transportation. This once upon a time transportation is different parameter, but now this parameter will be applicable in different way. Once upon a time, to interact with other countries, waterways are the only possibility, but now it is very much easy that you take a flight, reach there within 10 or 12 hours. But it is to travel from one place to another place through ship will be causing maybe sometimes 5 days or maybe some 20-30 days as well, right? But goods, that is trade, is the most important element even today for the prosperity of any nation or to meet their own needs. That let us assume India is not having sufficient amount of oil and natural gas within its own territory. So it is importing from different countries called Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, Iran, maybe different countries, different Yemen, Oman. These are the different countries they are supplying. Apart from the oil, the other thing that we import are coal. Coal will be imported from the Australia, and iron we are importing. Different elements we are importing from the different regions. Now all these will be coming through ships only. It will be economically cheaper for the transportation through ships or waterways. Otherwise, if it is to be shipped to other places through the road, then it will be very much expensive. So transport is a lifeline for the people, and then waterways are the best for the transport, for the mass transport. And the other thing is food. Fish, we already studied that continental shelf is the region where we will be getting huge amount of fish catch. The best fish catch will be in this region only except whales and other big life will be going deep into the ocean, open oceans, but all the fish that will be useful for the food will be available in this continental shelf only. And apart from this, oil and natural gas are also available on the continental shelf. You try to locate where is Bombay High. This is a oil rig that we have in our country, and also KG Basin D6. This is the natural gas that we fetch from the Krishna Godavari basin. Where are these? These are on the continental shelf. What is the continental shelf? This is a land and continental shelf having a less slope, and continental slope, this is shelf, slope, rise, and then plain. Right. Now this continental shelf is the source of oil and natural gas. Most of the oil and natural gas is available in this region only. Why do you think so? In this region oil and natural gas are available? Because oil and natural gas are the product out of the fossils. These are fossil fuels. What are fossils? Dead remains of any life. That could be fish, that could be human, that could be a tree or a plant or grass. Anything that is buried under the land for thousands of years will be converting into maybe coal or petroleum or natural gas. Then would it be happening in the ocean plains? Because ocean plains are not having good amount of life except on the continental shelf. Then where is this possible? Because of the presence of sunlight and water, everything should be there, then only it will be having good amount of life. These continental shelves are the margins of the continents. As we already discussed, continents and oceanic plates are, continental plates and oceanic plates are colliding each other, and this oceanic plate are going below the continental plate. In this region, once upon a time it might be a forest, and now it is formed as the continental shelf, and that is the reason why we have this fossil fuels in this region. Apart from these fossil fuels, many different minerals, manganese nodules and other boulders, these stones or maybe the ocean sand is much useful. These are exploration and also exploitation of manganese nodules. India got the permission from the UNCLOS, UNCLOS, United Nations of Law on Seas. This is the body that will be monitoring the problems or maybe the rules and regulations of the oceans world over. Now India got the permission to explore and exploit the manganese nodules. What is the use of this manganese? Steel industry will be using manganese for the production of steel. And then the next thing is power generation. OTEC is a technology, oscillation of ocean waves and tides. These, because of this, power will be generated from the tides. Once in a day, high tide will and neap tide will be coming. Turbines will be fixed in the coastal areas, and because of this high tide, water will be flown into that turbine region, and which will be because of the low tide, which will be again going back towards the ocean. This will rotate the turbine and then power will be generated, but this is not much potential so far. The technology is need to be improved in this area. And then the worst part is pollution. Now whatever the debris that we generate on the land, that continents, cities, we are generating huge debris, and entire this debris is taken and going and dumping into the open oceans. Where is this going? Entirely this is intermixing with the oceans only, And because of this plastic or maybe the microplastic is going deep into the life of the ocean, that is maybe mammals, fish or any other life in the ocean are eating this plastic, and also these are causing the reflection of light that will not be allowing the light to penetrate through it, and also mixing of oxygen will also be getting affected. Because of that it will be creating the biological oxygen demand, BOD. This situation will be affecting badly for the life in the oceans, and this will be finally impact the fish production, and also entering microplastic within this fish will be reaching back to the land again, and then the same microplastics or the plastic that ate by this fish is taken into our body. This is called accumulation of or biomagnification. Biomagnification, that is, this is a food web, one takes the other. The fish is eating plastic and that fish we are eating, then what we are finally eating? We are eating plastic and other waste. And then next thing is oil spills. Just now we have talked about oil is transported from one country to other country through the sea or ocean. Now while this oil is carried by the ships, those ships may be sometimes broken or maybe clogged or maybe fall into the oceans. Recently in Suez Canal, have you seen one big ship called Evergiven? A company called Evergreen has a very big ship called Evergiven. This ship should have travelled in the Suez Canal like this, but unfortunately this has turned like this and clogged, or this entire Suez Canal is blocked with this ship. Then there may be all possibility of accident of different vessels. If that is happened, then what will happen? Entire goods will be fell into the ocean or the sea. Apart from this, Alaska is a region in the Northern America. This region is one of the renowned for the oil spills. When oil spill over the ocean or the water, then what will happen? It will be spreading over entire region, because oil and water will not be mixed. When oil spread over the water, what will happen? Temperatures or the sun rays will not be penetrating deep into it, and also biological oxygen demand will also be increasing, because oxygen dissolution or dissolving oxygen will not be happening in this region because of the spread of the oil. Oil will not permit neither the sunlight nor the oxygen. So finally this will drastically impact the life in under ocean. And the other thing is extreme exploitation, over exploitation of the fishing. Now earlier days when the demand was less, then how people used to catch fish? They go with the manual boats into the open seas or maybe ocean, and they catch some fish. Because it is a manual boat, one has to row the boat or sail the boat and also catch the fish and come back. Certainly, definitely there will be huge limitations on this manual boat on the catch of the fish. Then nowadays what happened? Mechanical boats has come. These mechanical boats switch on the engine and they will be going deep into the ocean and throw huge nets. The machine will only catching the fish. So there is no limit for this. Exploitation is huge, and also even unwanted fish is also caught in this mechanized boats. Because of this, the life in the ocean is in huge danger. If it is in huge danger, then what will happen? Certainly and definitely it will be having impact over the population or the impact over the life on the continents, that is we. Thank you and keep learning.
Add-on solutions. Add-on